Nina bakamagwazi eguqile njengetholo siyakhuleka nina bezulu eliphezulu la ku SABC 1 ngabe ngenze likhulu iphutha uma ngakushaya ngaphandle nawe mbukeli wethu sibuka ohlelweni lethu olusebenzisa ubuchwepheshe besimanje ili high angingandi ngomlomo njengesiqebethu angihlale kuzona ithonto wena woza nendlebe mina ngizoza nendaba.
During the shootout 4 of the suspects were fatally wounded.
Amaphoyisa adubula bulala abantu abana abasolwa ngobandakanyeka igamekweni zokudunwa kwemoto ethwala imali kwamashu enyakatho yeTheku.
I think that UNISA is supposed to be placed under administration because even the report itself had been taken under review.
Inkantolo ephakeme ePitoli siyalele ungqongqoshe wemfundo ephakeme uDokotela uBlade Zimande ukuthi ahoqise incwadi eyazisa iUNISA ngesinqumo sakhe sokuyifaka ngaphansi kwesolo mlawuli.
I do not want to lie and say I think Sundowns is going to win tomorrow. It's going to be a very difficult match.
Iyo lalibonene kwamanqamo omqhudelwano iMTN 8 phakathi kweMamelodi Sundowns kanye neOrlando Pirates engabavikeli balendebe kundleni Moses Mabhida eThekwini. Kututshulwa kwabulawa abasolwa abana babandakanyeka ekudunweni kwemoto ethwala imali kwamashu enyakatho yeTheku KwaZulu-Natal. Lokhu kwenzeke namhlanje kuseni ngesikhathi amaphoyisa sebavimbezele endlini okubikwa ukuthi abasolwa bebecashe kuyona.
Amaphoyisa kuthiwa abelandela umkhondo ngezinto ezenzeka kulomuzi. Ngezikhathi zawo 6 ekseni ngolwesihlanu amaphoyisa lapho abasolwa kuthiwa bebhekise kuwo. Amaphoyisa nawo adubulile abulala abane. Ababili kuthiwa abasesifundazweni iLimpopo. Amaphoyisa athole nezibhamu okukhona kuzo iAK47 kanye neR5. Bese kuba izinhlavu eziningi. Abuye athola neziqhumane eziningi kanye nama-number plate okujema ama-signal.
This morning they received intelligence that there were some of the suspects hiding at a safe house in Kwamashu. Once they identified the premises, they approached the premises, and when they breached the premises, they were met with gun. During the shootout, 4 of the suspects were fatally wounded.
Amaphoyisa asathungatha abanye abasolwa ngalamacala kuthiwa kungenzeka ukuthi laba babulewe ibona babambe izimoto ezinhlanu eThekwini ukusukela ngenyanga edlule.
Ngexathi selenziwa amaphoyisa ekuvukeni noma kulandeleni abasolwa laba abatholakele emva kwegameke ezimbili ezidlule kuzona noma ezintathu bese sihlalele ovalweni njengomphakathi.
Khona manjalo amaphoyisa abophe indoda eJolivet eyamaniswa nokubanjwa inkunzi kwezimoto ezithwala imali. Londi Khadebe, SABC News kwamashu.
Inkantolo ephakeme yasePitoli yalele ungqongqoshe wemfundo ephakeme uDokotela uBlade Nzimande ukuthi ayihoqise inhloso zakhe zokufuna ukufaka iUNISA ngaphansi kwesolo mlawuli. Lokhu kuzemva komyalelo wenkantolo ophuthumayo ngenxa yesimangalo esifakwe yile nyuvesi emva kokuthi uDokotela uNzimande ethe uzokwenza isimemezelo esiwujuqu ngale nyuvesi namhlanje.
Lokhu kuza njengoba iUNISA ihaqwe imibiko yokungaphathwa ngendlela efanele kwezimali kanye nokunye ukuthinta ukusebenza kwale nyuvesi. Inhloso kaNzimande yokufaka inyuvesi ngaphansi kwesolo mlawuli kulandela umbiko ozimele kaSolwazi uThemba Mosiya kanye nethimba likangqongqoshe eliqokelwe ukubheka ukusebenza eUNISA.
It is unfortunate that the minister took that report and just wanted to implement it and put the biggest university under administration without properly dissecting the facts that have been raised.
Esikhathini esingaphansi kwenyanga uNzimande wanika umkhandlu waseUNISA izinsuku eziyisikhombisa ukuthi uchaze ukuthi kungani isikhungo kungafanele sifakwe ngaphansi kwesolo mlawuli, kepha-ke kuze kube yimanje ungqongqoshe uthi basalinde impendulo emkhandlwini. iUNISA-ke ibe isinikela enkantolo iyophikisana nalesi nqumo.
I think that UNISA is supposed to be placed under administration because even the report itself had been taken under review. So we are glad that the chairperson of the council, through the collective, they were able to interdict what the minister was able to do.
Yize kunjalo, kepha inyunyana yezisebenzi nehawu iyasiseka isinqumo sikaNzimande.
The HAU in the Gauteng province fully supports the decision of the Minister of Higher Education. As a union, we've been at the forefront of efforts to end maladministration, poor governance, and indeed what we perceive as corruption.
Njengoba usuya ngasemaphethelweni unyaka wezemfundo ka2023 kunokukhathazeka ngokuthi isinqumo sokufaka le nyuvesi ngaphansi kweso lomlawuli kungaba nomthelela ongemuhle kubafundi.
Unobhala jikelele we-SABC uSolly Mapayila uthi njengoba ukhetho lukazwelonke selusemome nje lenhlangano ayeneme ngokushaya ngolonabo kokuthunyelwa kwezidingo nqangi emphakathini.
Tikho lokuthi inkohla njengoba abantu becabanga kanti kuzoba nzima ukuyiqeda. Ithi khathazekile ke ngesimo sezwe hayi kuphela kusemazingeni aphansi lapho zingathunyelwa khona izidingo emphakathini.
So they are obsessed with regulations that do not respond to the needs of the people, and they don't even change those regulations to respond to the needs of the people. And when the people try to do something for themselves, they reject to intervene and to help them in.
Leli qembu ke liphinde laphawula ngokwenywa kwentengo yokudla kanye nophethiloli.
The crisis facing South Africa is a crisis of capitalism. It's not a crisis of the ANC. The problem with the ANC is that it has accepted responsibility to preside over a chaotic capitalist system, which of course we needed to have created an alternative to this kind of a situation.
Uthi ukhathazekile ngokuthi kugxilwe kakhulu ekukhipheni ANC esikhundleni.
There's nothing new, nothing tangible that comes out of these political parties as solutions for the crisis that we face. It's a combination of parties that articulate capitalist ideas, that ideas that have already failed South African society. And therefore, we don't see many of those coming with a different alternative.
Leli qembu libamba umhlangano wokuhlela wezinsuku ezintathu uxoxisana ngokhetho oluzayo kanye nokweseka iANC ukuba inikwe elinye ithuba.
Umholi weRise Mzansi uSongezo Ziba ukholwa ukuthi iqembu lakhe yilona elizodakula iningizimu Afrika enkingeni izwe libhekene nazo. Uzibi ethula inkulumo eConstitution Hill eGoli.
Leli qembu lethulwa eConstitution Hill ezedlule buyile ukuzokwethula umqulu wezethembiso zokhetho. Umholi waleli qembu nxenxe labo abeza kule ngqungquthela ukuthi baqhamuke namacebo amasha okwakha uhulumeni ongcono. Uthi ngaphandle kwalokhu umnotho wezwe uzoshabalala.
Bad governance by bad politicians and corrupt political the way of prosperity and economy. They only care about what matters to them. So when we have our discussions this weekend, we must pay particular focus on governance. We must.
Uzibuthi imgomo izogxila ezintweni ezifaka phakathi ukusimamisa umnotho nokwakha amathuba alinganayo.
The question is what is to be done. We are here to craft new answers to that. We are here because Rise Mzansi's volunteers and supporters have decided that it is impossible to get better results while keeping the same old and their political parties in place. These people have no energy, no ideas, and no credibility. We need new leaders and we need new politics.
Uzibi kulindeleke ukuthi agoqe lo mhlangano ngesonto ngemphumela yezingxoxo zezithunywa.
Ziyanda igameko zodlame olwenza phakathi kwalabo abathandana nabantu abanobulili ofana nobabo la eningizimu Afrika. Inhlangano iAccess Chapter 22 emele umphakathi ithi ukunganakwa kweyisulu zalo ludlame uma ibike emaphoyiseni yikhona kwenza kube nzima kakhulu.
Bafuna ubulungiswa kulandela ukudlula emhlabeni ngesihluku kaMatolwane obulawe abehlekisana naye uJackie Mothiba. uMatolwane waKwaZulu-Ntanyeni ekwazwela lapha behlala khona eAcadia ngesonto ledlule wabese shona emva kokuthi uMothibe emhambise esibhedlela.
The relationship is known to be toxic in its nature. We know of incidences in the past where the partner has beaten Mbulelo up to a point where in the past he stabbed him in the head area.
Lenhlangano sibeke amabala lesisenzo yathi lokhu kukhombisa ukuthi lishawe indivu udlame olukwabili obufanayo.
When we try open cases with the SAPS, we face what we call secondary victimization. So many of these cases go unreported. Justice does not come to those who deserve it. So they happen a lot. We know of cases that are currently for many years because those that are expected to actually provide justice are not actually conscientized enough to be able to deal with queer issues.
We as the FHR further call upon civil society, government and communities, and especially people, to report these incidents to the appropriate authorities, the entity and the national RTT. Closely monitor such cases and have a record of ensuring prosecution and accountability.
Umothi bokholakala ukuthi uyizikhulu samaphoyisa kaMasipala eTshwane uzovalelwa eStocksini kuze kufike isikhathi sokuthi avele enkantolo.
Omnyango wenkampani ngamabhizinisi ombuso uthi Transnet inomthelelo ongemuhle kusimameni komnotho wezwe njengoba ikhungethwe yinselele kanti lokho kudala ukuthi umkhakha wemayini uchithe imali ecela kumabhiliyoni angamakhulu amane amarandi ngonyaka uthumela impahla emazweni angaphandle ngenxa yinkinga eyibhekene nokuthuthwa kwempahla.
I-Transnet isiphinde yabasematheni futhi njengoba umnyango wezinkampani ezingamabhizinisi ombuso uthi izingqinamba ezibhekene nale nkampani zinomthelela ongemuhle emnothweni wezwe.
We want to bring the functionality of the economy because if the economy does not function, it can't grow. Transnet is a stumbling block currently for that growth. We just have to resolve that issue so that the economy can grow.
Umkhakha wezimayini ubalwa nezinye izimboni ezibhekene nengwadla kwazise ingqalasinda yezitimela engakiwe futhi engasetshenziswa yenza kube umqansa ukuthumela impahla kwamanye amazwe.
The logistics constraints due to rail capacity problems and harbour capacity problems are a major concern for the mining sector, to such a degree that about half of export earnings are actually affected by this. Of about 800 billion rands worth of export earnings the mining sector had last year, over 400 billion are influenced by this. Just to give perspective on this, the sector spends double the amount of money on logistics.
Lo mnyango ke uthi kufanele kulungiswe imizila yezitimela kanye nenqalasinda.
There are certain areas where the train can't go as it used to do, such as in the former Transkei area in Mthatha and in the Eastern Cape. There are quite a number of such places where rail is just damaged.
Akukacaci ukuthi lolu hlelo luzodla malini.
Umnyango wezolimo esifundazweni Limpopo uthi uneyinsiza ezenele ukubhekana nokubheduka kwe-avian flu.
Yize lesifo sitholwe emaplazini amane kuphela eLimpopo, omboni kulesi sifundazwe sebeqalile bayawuzwa umthelela.
You know, there were people that were not used to order from me. Now they are becoming more, I'm seeing more of the new faces than the old faces. Yes, so the demand is higher in such a way that we cannot supply.
Umnyango wezolimo uthi simo salawuleka okwamanje.
Confirm is that the Limpopo is affected in the Waterberg region. Only 4 farms which have been identified in Bilabila, Modimolle and Mogalakwena. The rest of our province is still safe now. Skukune, Capricorn, Bembe and Mopani.
Okwamanje abathengi kusazomela basifake isigamanxa isandla ephaketheni uma befuna ukuthenga noma ngabe iyiphi imikhiqizo yenkukhu mosiba ngcono.
Izakhamuzi zaselokishini iChristani kwaNobuhle zisola umkhandlu Nelson Mandela Bay ngokuyinikeza itatimende engombombayi. Lokho kuzemva kokuthi izakhamuzi ithole zikubizwe ngokuthi itatimende eyinezikweletu ezivela kumasipala ezimbeqolo njengoba ezinye zazo zibalula ukuthi izakhamuzi ikweleta imali engaphezulu ngeenkulungwane zamarandi.
Abahlali baseChristani kwilokishi yakwaNobuhle bavakalise inxalabo ngexabiso letyala lamanzi abaxiweyo. Oneminyaka engama-70 ubudala uThenji weSwartboy uthi njengomuntu wendodla elityala lamanzi akanokwazi ukumelana nalo.
Ndinako ukubhatala amanzi. Indivisa kabuhlungu ndifunga amampondo. Ndiva kabuhlungu uba ndingathi kule age ndikuyo ndibhatale amanzi. Imali engaka mampondo yukule 1000 something. Kunyuka kutya mhlawumbe ibhotile leparafini 25 rand.
Ndathu igqithileyo imizi eliqela kwilokishi yakwaNobuhle ibithwaxwe imbalela kodwa abahlali bashiyeke bejongene nalamatyala amanzi.
Andiyabanza libhatala njani elityala andiyipeyi ne350 abantu abangaphangeliyo.
Ngo-August wonyaka lombaxa weNelson Mandela Bay wathembisa kubahlali balapha ukuba lamatyala aza kucinywa ukanti ukuzothi kanguko lamatyala asamile.
Yes, very disappointed uMasipalati, and i-issue yamanzi isekhona apha ekuhlaleni because amanzi asahlala avalwe sakha sichazelwe.
uMasipala uthi uza kuphanda lomba nokuqinisekisa ityala lomzi ngamnye.
Sizawubacebisa into yoba benze isicelo sokufakwa sombane namanzi, into esiyibiza ngoba i-assistance to the poor program, ukwenzela uba ubheka phambili bangaziboni besengxakini efana nale.
Nje esuka kwiziko lezimali lixabiso elingapha kwe-300 billion rand elityalwa komasipala eMzantsi Afrika kwindaba ze-SA Muyi ndiseGqeberha.
Njengoba kubungazwa usuku lomsebenzi ehloniphekile nenesithunzi nje emhlabeni, umfelandawonye wenyunyana zezisebenzi Khosathu ungene emgwaqeni esifundazweni eMpumalanga ilanga layo.
Abekade bezothenga kuphoqa ukuthi bahambe kule ndawo njengoba babhekishi bevala isitolo befuna ukuphathwa kangcono. Iningi lesisebenzi zaxoshwa nyakeni emuva kokubhekisha. Ikhosathu ithi inqoma ukuthi bambe lo mbhekisho kanye nezinye izinhlangano ukukhumbuza umqashi ngamalungelo esisebenzi.
Siyazi ukuthi iShoprite under iWalmart and sibonile ama members wethu weSakhawu athi izabhiza yateleka exercise i-right labo officially ku-Labor Relations Act waxoshwa more than 500 was saying that angeke sikwazi ukusibayeka iShoprite noWalmart sithi kundlulile.
Abadayisa emgaqweni nabo
uMasipala wethu akakhoni ukusendela lesifuna kona, unika ama-comrades ethu anephandle maphembithi kodwa asathi ukuthi ubanika kanjani bangenawo ama-ID.
Lesitolo zinikezwe izicuku eziyisikhombisa ukuthi ziphendule izifuno zesisebenzi.
Beluphezulu uhwebo lwerandi emakethe namhlanje. Libiza u-19.39 edolini laseMelika, libe u-23.64 kupondo kanti lu-20.45 ku-euro. Ipula laseBotswana kuvalwe imakethe libiza R1.37. iJC ivale inkomba yezabelo iphezulu. Igolide belibiza $1,830 i-ounce, iplatinum yona ibiwu $867 i-ounce, uoyela ongahluziwe ububiza $88.22 umphongolo. Iyo lalibonene i-MTN 8 phakathi koMamelodi Sundowns kanye ne-Orlando Pirates engabavikeli bendebe emidlalweni ozoba senkundleni Moses Mabhida eThekwini kusasa. Liphezulu kakhulu embukeli sasasa njengoba amathikithi omdlalo onke ngosuku olulodwa kuma-computer.
I-Orlando Pirates isadlale kanye neMamelodi Sundowns emidlalweni omanqamu we-MTN 8 kusukela ke waqala lo mncintiswano. Womabili ke lamaqembu aseke ahlangana kumncintiswano we-DStv Premiership kule season. I-Sundowns ke yawunqoba lo mdlalo ngegoli elilodwa eqandeni. Kepha ke lamaqembu athi lo mdlalo wakusasa uzokube ungohlukile kakhulu.
We'll do our best as the team, as the big brand that has got loyal supporters, and many of them that don't change because of trophies. We'll try and represent the brand with pride.
I do not want to lie and say I think Sundowns is going to win tomorrow. It's going to be a very difficult match. Both teams are good enough to win this trophy. Both teams have got what it takes to win this trophy.
Lo mdlalo kulindeleke ukuthi uthuthukise ke umkhakha wezokuvakasha esifundazweni.
It is displeasing to note that the hotel operators and accommodation establishment are reporting that 4 and 5 hotel stars are already doing well. This weekend soccer clash coincide with the end of the school holidays. We expect the accommodation bookings will spike, benefiting establishment in and around the North Coast as well.
Amasango azovulwa ngehora lesibili ntambama kanti umdlalo uzoqala libumbene ihora lesithupha ntambama. NginguSimpiwe Makhanya wezindaba ze-SABC ngiseThekwini.
Uzodlalwa kusasa umdlalo ozonquma ukuthi ubani odlulele esigabeni somkhumula jezi endebeni yomhlaba yebhola lombhoxo phakathi kwe-Ireland kanye neScotland. The Paris kusasa ozonqoba uzodlalela phambili esigabeni esilandelayo namabhokobhoko.
Lo mdlalo uzocacisa ukuthi liphi iqembu elizodlulela esigabeni somkhumula jezi kanye neNingizimu Afrika. Umqeqeshi we-Ireland uthi ezakhe kufanele zenze impilo ibe lula ngokunqoba lo mdlalo.
There's a massive game. It's so important to us, and certainly obviously to them, but to the travelling fans and the people back home, etc. It's a huge game.
I-Ireland ayikazi idlale selokhu yaguqisa ama-Springboks emasontweni amabili edlule.
It was a very special atmosphere, a very special occasion in that South African game, and you know we enjoyed it after. And I think the fact that we had a game off, as in the weekend off, allowed us to do that. Normally, if you have a game the following week, you almost have to start preparing straight away. But you know we enjoyed the night and the celebrations, and then it's back down to Scotland.
Kusenjalo, iScotland ifuna ukumangaza abaningi.
I don't think we've got anything to lose in this game. Obviously, like if we go home, if we lose the game, we're going home. But like I said, we'd been written off. We've faced the top 2 teams in the world, but for us, we're not going to go die wondering. Like we've got to fire every bullet in our gun, and we've got to go out there and play our best game, and it's in our hands from now. So the pressure's off in that sense.
INingizimu Afrika izokhathazeka uma iScotland inganqoba kamaphuzu angaphezulu kwama-21 iphinde ithole nephuzu lengeziwe ngaphezulu.
Mbukeli ngiyazi ukuthi njengoba kulesihlanu nje kusasa qala impela sonto wena uzophuma ubhekeni ngemva kwekhefu umhlahlo wesimo sezulu yalandela nganyakazi. Nabakamphambi ephuce ikhubalo lenyanga siyaguqa indaba besikuphathele zona kusasa oza kwethu laba basakaza ngolimi lesixhosa ibona abazobe bephathele indaba ngesonto ntambama sale kahle.